just comfort, and the truth shall make you free. For out of Zion comes your deliverer in the year of Jubilee. Awake, O Israel, put up your comfort, and the truth shall make you free. For out of Zion comes your deliverer in the year of Jubilee. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, YHWH. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, Shabbat Yahweh. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, Shabbat Yahweh. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, let us dance to Yah, oh, let us dance to Yah, dance to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Oh, let us dance to Yah, oh, let us dance to Yah, dance to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Let us shout to Yah, oh, let us shout to Yah, shout to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Oh, let us shout to Yah, oh, let us shout to Yah, shout to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Awake, O Israel, put off your slumber, and the truth shall make you free. For out of Zion comes your deliverer in the year of Jubilee.
That you have gave us a sweet rest, that you have held us on your mind once again to wake us to another day, Abba Yahweh. You have brought us back into the bed, down on humble knees, Abba Yahweh. We just told you, Abba Yahweh, to keeping us from day to day, Abba Yahweh. Knowing it was not by our own power, by your mighty hand of your spoken word, to waken this day, Abba Yahweh. And we told you, Abba Yahweh, and we will lift you up today on your Sabbaton, Abba Yahweh. And the nation lift their voice unto you, Abba Yahweh. That we continue to do, Abba Yahweh. That their voice may touch the HIS Elect Abba Yahweh. And hallelujah, we give it unto you this day, Abba Yahweh. And the dance and the moving of our feet, Abba Yahweh. And they play the instruments, Abba Yahweh.
Oh, hallelujah.
It is all unto your honor, Abba Yahweh, for this great King that we serve, Abba Yahweh. Knowing, Abba Yahweh, we will not be ashamed, Abba Yahweh, to praise thy great King on this day. For the breath that you gave us, Abba Yahweh. Oh, we told you, Abba Yahweh, this day. This beautiful Sabbaton, Abba Yahweh. For you will feed us today to emit the word of truth from your Malak, Abba Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
And we give us your deep realm, Abba Yahweh. And he lift up his voice, Abba Yahweh. Bind up every spirit, Abba Yahweh. As he strengthens your nation, not only here, but everywhere. Your Eric, every four corners of this earth, Abba Yahweh. Touch the ears of your nation this day, Abba Yahweh. That they rejoice of just one more day, Abba Yahweh. That you have gave them, Abba Yahweh. That they can lift up their great King, Abba Yahweh. But knowing, Abba Yahweh, without you, Abba Yahweh, we can do nothing, Abba Yahweh. But only you, Abba Yahweh, to keep us in the direct, the straight and narrow way, Abba Yahweh. Only you take us through this battle, Abba Yahweh. Because, Abba Yahweh, you will harbour your nation so much, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, we move through this day, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Total Yah, total Yah. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Blow the trumpet in the mountain of Yahweh, Yahshua, Mashiach. Yahweh, which is the HIS Elect. For there is your mighty name, your Malkut to come, your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh, and with the HIS Elect. Give us this day our daily lesson. And forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Malkut, the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled the precious and mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, who come like this day, Abba Yahweh. And he feeds your nation this day. The Amen, Abba Yahweh. The bread of life, your lesson this day, Abba Yahweh. To your nation, Abba Yahweh. To soon to turn, Abba Yahweh. We Baruch in the present name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. For this is the Yom of YHWH. We have gathered on this precious Shabbaton, that we may lift up the name of Yahweh our Abba. That we may bring praise unto him by fire with the offering that we have saved unto this precious day, YisraYah'ale. Come on, let us sing, let us dance before Yahweh our Abba. Hallelujah. For this is the duty of every man. So let us praise his name. Praise his name. Oh, don't you know there's none like Yahweh? Don't you know there's none like him? Oh, yes, I know there's none like Yahweh. Yes, I know there's none like him. Lift up your hands in the tabernacle and lift your voices to Yahweh. Let everything that has breath make a joyful noise. For it is Yahweh that gives us life. For he has given us Yeshua, which is the perfect offering. We are washed in his precious, precious blood. So let us give Torah to Yah, Torah to Yah. Don't you know Yahshua HaMashiach. So show us your way, Abba Yahweh. Show us your way.
The cry of our
and wonderfully made, YisraYah'ale. We will give praise unto Yahweh our Abba. I will praise Yahweh, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and then my head
Hebron here, the three Hebrew boys. We greet you all. YHWH's most excellent name. What a blessed day to be here on the SHABBAT. Yah says that He has set aside the Shabbats for us to delight in meat, election, the bread, the offering of strength. And so I'm delighted that he has granted me space of time of life to come on this Shabbat. And as I look forward to the Mo'adim of Yahweh feast, he has granted that unto us that we may eat lechem. We may eat the bread of life, Yeshua HaMashiach. And nothing will cause a disturbance in our lives. Not jobs, sons and daughters, wives, husbands. But we will obey the command of God. This is the only thing that is a sign that he gave unto YisraYah'ale, an Uth, O-T-H. It is a distinctive mark that he gave as a sign that we will be certified as his people. He would be our Abba. So I look forward. I live for nothing but the Mo'adim of Yah. The feast days, the gatherings, the comings. I look for nothing, and I live for the great celebration of our Abba. So may riches rest upon you, our friends, and you that have joined us for the Shabbatons, this great day of celebration. I said that I will continue, and I will, on the teaching that I began 2 Shabbats ago. This will be the third. Concerning the culture, the arts. What is culture? Is culture meant to produce a society or a people of great strength and care, or the one that provided them the insight? The culture that many call culture. Yah grants me this year, I will teach us, and I will show you the precise culture of this nation of people. And so we have this identity that is delusional, that tell the daughters of Zion, the men, to put earrings in their noses, the ears, and all about their body parts. They have them in their tongue, the navel. They have them in every private part of their anatomy. And so this is accounted for as culture from Yah unto a nation. We're going to discover the history today. I want you to challenge me in every degree and see if I am a student of this Torah, if I am just speaking hyperbole, lies, corruption that is unscrupulous, or see where everything I say bear record in Scripture. May I say this to us? As we study Torah, I see why Yah, he grants us 70 and 10, and by the reason of our koach, or the strength of the melachim, we may go beyond that, as the nation and the world has acknowledged Mr. John McCain. He lived 81 years plus. Last Wednesday, he would have been 82. You must understand that his mother is 103 years of age. I'm making that statement for one reason. Can I tell us? If you live 200-300 years, can I tell you what would happen? You will go back to the way of every kind of corrupt thing it is. You will do those things that are most violent, sadistic, and evil against Yah. You got confidence in yourself, you've already lost the battle. I want to begin with a little history for us, all right? And show us that I will not only qualify, but I will quantify in Torah what I say. I will begin here in the book of Yesha, or Yosha. I will begin here in chapter 4 and verse 20. This is this dubious thing we call culture that is perpetrated as though that this was a culture identity that Yah gave unto the nation. I find it nowhere in Torah. And we'll get to the root of all things today. And on next Shabbat, I'm going to culminate it all into one bundle and show you beyond a shadow of a doubt. It is steeped in the most satanic evil traditions one could ever find, soon to be culture, find. Yahshua says in chapter 4, verse 20, I want us to understand the phraseology. It says, and all, call, every ish, every man. And as a man is one whom the knowledge of Torah is his head of delight. These are not men who do not have YHWH, the living Torah, as their rush. Their mountain of knowledge, strength comes from here. He says, not some. And all men who halak, they walk with intelligence of integrity, that walk in the ways. They walked in Hadirek, in the counsel of Yah. It says they died. Muth. They died prematurely. It is a word that indicates that there was an execution by Almighty Yah. And if we think that he doesn't execute, we're so wrong, nation. We don't know him. We really don't know the power of the Abba. He doesn't answer to me or you. And to think he does, that's silly. And the reason I said we will go back to the ways of every kind of darkness, every last one of us. Because you struggle with things now that you know that are right and this is wrong, and you struggle, and you struggle in the middle. I don't struggle. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Look what it says. And they died in those days. Why? Before Yah brought, he used the word Yatsa, that's his decision. He said it's going to proceed to that before Yah brought the evil upon man, which he had declared. There are those that Yah has declared a sentence, which he had declared, for this was from Yah. This was from Yah, that they should not see the evil which Yah spoke concerning the sons of men. Yah says, I'm going to comfort you in death. There's a promise. I don't want you to see the terror of my arm, my hand, because you have walked according to my strength of Torah. You have been the disciplined ones, and I'm going to take you out of this mayhem that I have declared. Yah declares life, and he declares death. We understand. Let me proceed down the 5th chapter of Yeshua, chapter 5 and verse 5. Let us read together. And it says this in chapter 5 of Yeshua. It says, and all who followed Yah, they died. Yeshua chapter 5, verse 5. Everyone that follows Yah, you're going to die. You can hold on to that falsehood of your thinking. But it said, and all that follow Yah died in those days, before they saw the evil which Yah declared, 2 words there, to us. He said, I'm going to perform it, I'm going to do it, and it's going to come upon the whole eretz. No one is going to escape. Verse 6. And after the lapse of many years, see, when time passes by, we think we're going to live without any consequences of our evil deeds and our doings, because in our own eyes we are a self-righteous people. We justify some of the most evil things. We become a part of it. We embrace it. We allow it. We do that, nation. That's why if Yah extended the time of our lives, we will be as wicked as any person ever walked on the face of the earth. He said, which I declare to do upon the earth. And after the lapse of many years, in the 480th year of the life of Noah, when all those men, when all of the men who followed Yah, he had taken them all away. They had maved. They had died. They had ceased to live from among the sons of men. He did not call them the sons of Yah. He called them the sons of men. You understand? And only the only righteous ones he left was Methuselah, was left. Yah said to Noah and Methuselah, saying, I want you to speak to the sons of men and tell them their sins and their corruption, their violent intent against Yah. What you have learned from the watchers that have rejected true knowledge and truth of me, those that saw the secrets of my counsel, and they brought it down unto you in a corrupt, perverted fashion, the way we are today. We know that the Torah says this, and we corrupt it within our own minds to be appeasing to those that do not give a damn about Yah, that has no care for him, and we make Yah corrupt. And let me say, we all are going to pay for that. And they spoke, Methuselah and Noah spoke. Verse 9 of the same chapter, you can read the chapter in its entirety. And Noah and Methuselah, it says that, spoke not some, not partial, not diverted, but they spoke all the word of Yah to the sons of men, day after day, constantly. Now, there are those that get perturbed when one constantly reminds us of our sins and our corruption. We don't like it because we're not the sons of YisraYah'ale. We are the sons of men. We are the sons and the daughters of men. They spoke the word not one day, but they spoke it all day, consistently, constantly, and their lives were representative of what they spoke and what they expressed from Almighty Yah. And we get very perturbed if one says the same thing consistently, constantly remind you that you're just not right. You're not right the way you think you is. You're full of your corruption of sin and violence. And we're going to die the same kind of evil death they did. I say, that's all right now, the way you are now, you're going to die that way unless you constantly, consistently desire to hear the truth and stop your damnable, wicked, evil, sadistic ways that lie to you. It is your own ways that lie to you. It is your own lies that lie to you. It is your own damn corruption that corrupts you. I corrupt no man. I corrupt no man. I corrupted me. There's nothing no one can say to me that will corrupt me or do against me. It is your own corruption. So you can stop that lie. I do this because he did that to me. That's a lie. It's you. You are a dirty creature. They spoke constantly, consistently. They spoke to them. Do we not get perturbed if someone constantly reminds us? Mother, you love your child. That's why you consistently and constantly remind them, because we're childlike and we'll do the same damnable things over and over and think that, knowing that I am sinning against Yah with intent, that he's going to hear your prayer. You are a damnable fool. You know that's wrong. You justified. He took all of them out. He had Methuselah and Noah, and they cried consistently. How do you know? Moving quickly now to Bereshit. I want to set up the historical line. You understand?
Yeah.
And we will know what was introduced by those watchers of darkness. Their minds were darkened when they tried to advocate Yah of his great power. And that's what we do here. Well, you don't have to do that. That's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a damnable lie. He gives us the Shabbat for one reason, that we may come to eat meat.
Yeah.
I don't want no sparse meal. I want something to make me fat and strong. I want to lift the weight of my sins and the cauldron of that fast that I've been drinking out of. I want to lift that away so I can drink from the cup of the salvation of YHWH. I don't want to be burdened down with sins and corruption. I want to live right. I want to live honest before all men. I will not justify me. I will not justify any man or anyone. And I will speak out against that which opposes Yah. We don't do that. Those men spoke out against them. They spoke out against their sin. And they reminded them, you are dirty, you're evil, and you're wicked. One of us reminded someone of their damnable evil ways? You don't do it because you're afraid. Because you're not sincere with Yah.
Yes.
Look at this small gathering. The houses that will meet today, they will overshadow this. People don't love me. And I'm fine with that. You understand? Let's go to Bereshit quickly. Genesis chapter 5 and verse 21. I want to remind us of this concerning who is a Hebrew, who is an Israelite. Now, what were all of these men? Would you call them Hebrews or Israelites, or it is synonymous one with the other? We can answer that, can we? You should be able to answer it.
Yes.
I want to read this in Bereshit, Genesis 5:21. Look at what the Torah of Yah dispenses and says. It talks about Hanoch. He lived 65 years when he produced Methuselah.
Yes.
So what was Hanoch? Was he a Hebrew?
Yes.
We must understand that definitive implies those that are from beyond.
Yes.
And we are people beyond the concept of humanity, or the concept of what one should behave like and walk like. That seed was sown in a people that they all were classified as Hebrews.
Yes.
He lived 65 years, and he brought forth from his loins Methuselah. And Hanoch, he halach, he walked, he strove to be in the counsel of Yah. He walked with Yah after he begat, or he birthed Methuselah, 300 years, and he produced more sons and daughters. And all the days of Hanoch were 365 years. This is important. They can cascade Mr. John McCain as this most honorable person. And these are liars, thieves of every kind of thuggery in their violent, reprehensible whorehouse to speak as though that he was a gem unto America. It is a lie. And Hanoch walked. He's the one that halach. We must walk. We must please. We must go in the direction of Yah. We must adhere to what Yah commands us.
Yes.
And he walked with Yah. And he was not a part of the world.
No.
Because the Torah tells us in Hanoch that he admonished his children, Hanoch, all the days of his life, that they should not turn away from the counsel of Yah.
Yeah.
And look at you and me. Who are the ones that admonish you and tell you to turn from your evil ways? We are afraid.
Yeah.
We're intimidated to do that. We're afraid of those that we have brought an association that they're close to us. They can't be close to you. You cannot give a damn about them because Yah cares for us as a people. And He tells us every damnable, violent, evil thing we do. It's reprehensible. You can laugh and pray with them, but those men did not laugh and pray with them. Hanok would steal himself away for a period of time because he saw the evilness of men and their corruption. He will not abide in their fellowship. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. And for that reason, the Torah says, Yalacha. He received Hanok. He received him. He was cut away. That this man lived a life that was exemplary. Exemplary. Our lives are full of bullshitting. Yes. We're some of the most damnable hypocrites. Yeah. We're violent, we're liars, we're thieves, we're corrupt, and we don't give a damn about YisraYah'ale. Yes. You care more for one that robs and steals, has disdain for Yah's counsel. You love that one before you love me. You go out of your way before that one. Listen to me. Hallelujah. You will not do that for me, but you'll listen to me. Can I proceed? Yes. I will go back to, and the reason I'm doing that, I will establish the bona fide essence of Hanuk. I will go back to Hanuk 8. Not now, listen. I will go back to the book of YHWH, chapter 3, YHWH chapter 3, and verse 1. Same thing that Bereshit says. It says this in the book of YHWH. It says, and in Hanok, he lived 65 years, and he brought forth Methuselah. It says the same thing that Bereshit says, doesn't it? So there is a witness there. Every word must be established in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. So we have 2 so far. And Hanok walked with Yah, after having birthed Methuselah, and he served Yah. He was an Abadim. He was a servant of Yah. And look at this. You will know you're a servant of Yah. It says, and despise the evil ways of men. When you embrace the evil ways of men, when you have frivolity with them and foolishness, you embrace them and you care and you join yourself unto their company. You don't despise what Yah calls evil. He despised that. He despised it so much. He despised the evil ways of men. Verse 2, and the nephesh of Hanok was wrapped up. He was wrapped up in the Musar, the counsel, the rebuke, the correction. His nephesh, his mind, his will, his being. It says it was wrapped up in the instructions of Yah. What instructions of Yah? He understood the power of knowledge. He embraced the understanding and in understanding. And he wisely, he carried himself away from the sons of men. Does it say that? Yes. Yah says that his wrath was coming down on the sons of men. Yes. He took all those that were so deep out of the world that walked with him. And he despised. He was still away. Yes. And say, Yah, why do you even plead with this damnable people? And yet he plead with us. Yes. And we're so evil and wicked, we will not change one way. We will not allow Haruach to convince us. Yes. It is not preaching to me. And the declaration of his counsel, unless it comes to the depth of my sins and show me the violent, reprehensible thing I am. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear no smooth thing. They said to the prophets, teach us smooth things. You can walk in that dirty whore and you walk out a dirty whore. You can walk in that effeminate, dyed-haired man, and you walk out the same way with no fear of Yah. You can walk in there laid down with a man all night that wasn't your husband. You can walk out with confidence you're right. You can walk in there as a leader, as a man that has had 2 that night. And there is nothing that convince or convict you of your violent ways that you're going to die in. cannot get deep on and in us. You can lie today and mistreat one, and you will go in there in Yah's bed and thinking you're right. You can have animus in your heart against one. No, it's not someone having it against you, it's you. Because you're always thinking it's someone else. You're the one with the damnable animus. You're the one that hates. You're the one that despises. You're the one that got a problem. Because I can do right by all men. I don't give a damn who the man is. You're the one that has the animus and corruption in you. And you're such a coward, you will blame everyone but you. I want to proceed further, all right? Hallelujah. I'm not going to capitulate for anyone. He was wrapped up in the instructions of Yah, the Musa, the counsel, and the word Musa implies his rebuke, his chastising, his correction. We despise chastising. We despise correction. We make our damnable funny looks on our face, our whole bodies contort, our minds contort, our visual contort. Don't think you get away with me in here, because you don't get away with the damn thing with me. He was wrapped up in the instructions of Yah, the instructions of his counsel. He knew the da'at of Yah. He had the tabun, the knowledge, the intelligence, the knowledge to understand the power and what is produced from his word. We don't have no tabun. We don't have knowledge of that degree. Because we don't sense the beauty of walking in Yah's counsel and the reward. Don't we know as damnable fools, we're going to all die like Mr. McCain. 81 years is not the old. He's 90 years old. It doesn't mean a damn thing to Yah. He was 19 and a damn fool. He's going to die at 99 as the same damnable twisted fool. You were a damn dumb fool at 45, and you're going to die at 75, and you will be the same damnable twisted fool. Your changes a man, daughter of Zion. There's a refreshing of beauty. There's a yafaf. There's a beauty about everything. You talk words of deception to make one think you're beautiful, but you're not beautiful. And the knowledge and understanding, and he would wisely, they will, where have you been? I'm all right. How you doing, my friend? And he would go back into the way of his counsel, warning them. Retire from the sons of men, and he secreted himself from them many days. He would get away from them because they were corrupt. He didn't want to be around them. And you tell me that we as a nation have this propensity for those that are violently wicked against Yah. And you got a propensity to love and to embrace that? I won't do it. I won't do a nation. That's just me. And I know it's going to take more than what me can offer. It's going to take what Yahshua offer. So when I hear the counsel of Yah, I don't harden my heart. Now let's go to Hanuk. I want to read this quickly, all right? Hanuk chapter 8, verse 1. These are 7 of those whereby the Torah talks about the watchmen. These are the ones that watch over the nation and the counsel of Yah's secrets, that they would be imparted unto the people by men that will learn that men that like Hanuk, that will learn, and Methuselah, and men like Noah. You understand? Yeah. Men like Yeshua, and that we as a nation will be reminded that we cannot go contrary to the counsel of Yah. Can I ask us all a question that has ever worked a job? When you went contrary to the instructions on your job, what would they do? They will fire you without thoughts. They showed, quote, no kind of chesed, raham, no kind of kindness. You're fired, get off the ground. And Yah, with all of his tender kindness, we don't give a damn, nation. Yes. We don't care. We take it for granted. Yes. We're kidding and fooling ourselves We're fooling ourselves to think that I'm nice and I'm special. I'm sweet. You're not sweet. There's only one that has the sweet fragrance of smell. And that is the power of that testimony that emanates from our hearts. And that testimony is YHWH. And the shiro that comes out of us, the gelot, it stinks because we are corrupt. It causes our whole body to stink. Not only our breath, but our bodies, our physicality stinks. It says in Hanoch chapter 8, I'm going to brush through this quickly. It talks about Azazel, chapter 8, verse 1. And Azazel taught the people the art, the culture, the skill of making swords and knives, shields and breastplate. He did not teach them the skill to be empowered with the breastplate of righteousness. They did not come to implement that kind of instruction. But there's a man that called Shaul. He tells us to put on breastplate of Sadi, the righteousness of Yah. You cannot get that mind covered or gutted with the breastplate, but by hearing the Torah of Almighty Yah. And he chose them, and he showed them, their chosen ones, what we call samit, or bracelets. And the bracelets was meant to be a covering. So people join themselves in consensus of union. When they give them an item, that's what bracelets represent. And I will show you that as I continue. We're going to get to specifics now, all right? I'm trying to show us history. And the first teaching was open the door of our knowledge. And he showed them how to do that, to partnership and say, we are one, but we are one in Yeshua HaMashiach. There's nothing that identifies my witness with him but the counsel of my mind, which has evolved by the way of the truth of Torah. It's not some garment I wear, as our Zucking told us last week. It's not some bracelet or some pilasteria. It's not that. They taught them purpose of bracelets and the diamond rings and all of that. Listen. And not only that, he taught them chadara, he taught them decoration, and also he taught them the shadowing, or to make the eyes illuminate a certain thing, to make it to draw attention to their eyes. He made them to do that with antimony, or with this ability to change the coloration of one's eyes, change the coloration of their pupil. They call them contact lens. You can go with green, purple, whatever color you want to. To change all of that, the Torah calls it puka. It is the eye cosmetic that changed the whole parameter. That's what the word puka, P-O-O-K. You don't need any eyeshadows on daughters of Zion. It is evil, it is sadistic. That was taught by those that had rejected Yah. They had abdicated their responsibility of faithfulness and truth unto Yah. And that's why we're easily seduced. Because we abdicate. We say, I don't want that responsibility. It doesn't take all that. Let me tell us all something. We're all weak and fledgling. And what we offer to Yah is not worth a bowl of puke. What you offer to Yah is not worth a bowl of puke. I don't care how much offering you give. What kind of money, what kind of faithfulness you think. When you think of yourself in any kind of a superior terms of that, you're not worth a damn thing to Yah. Because you know you're not humble. And you that think you're humble, as Granny would say, you're not humble at all. You got this air of yourself. And your haughty lives of gambit of corruption, and you hide it in a wicked storehouse, and you think Yah doesn't see it. I'm so glad. I was saying to him the other day, Yah didn't give every man the keys to open this book. There were only two, Methuselah and Hanok. He gave it unto Noah that they could declare it. So how is one going to open it and get understanding? That's why Yeshua, before he ascended, he gave gifts. And that's just a fact of the matter. Not only that, the beautifying of their eyelids and all kinds of precious stones. There's a powerful teaching on that. One day Yah's will, if he grants me, I'll teach us that one.
Yeah.
And all coloring, tincture, all coloring, to cause coloring of your hair. It's so different with the man it is with the woman. These jackasses of old men, fools, they dye their gray away. They're going to allow them to line their heads with dye. That is what they call tincture. It's a misappropriation and making color. They line their beards up and it look extravagant, does it? To the natural perception. They dye their gray beards up. They don't want to be hoary. They dyed them black. They let the barber color their beard and color their hair. It's a damnable evil thing. You don't let no barber spray a damn thing in your hair, man. You don't let him line up your beard with some black dye. It is an effeminate homosexual spirit. It's one that doesn't deal with the reality of life. My beard is gray. I will look like a damn fool if I had it lined up black and around the edges. Same thing with your daughters. You dye your hair and all of that. It's an evil, wicked, damnable, violent, adulterous thing. It didn't come from you. You intend for your hoary hair to be beautiful. You said about the daughters of Zion, you can show them the beauty of your locks, your hair, and what you are, the wisdom of that age. And you're so damn immature, you dyed red, you dyed. And you're so damn dumb, you put the plots in there. I don't care if you don't know. I don't care if nobody likes it. I don't care if you're careful what I say. This is what was taught to the people. And the Hebrews were a part of that people. They were taught this. And we're doing the same thing today. Why? That's why I said in the beginning, Yah knows he can't let you live as long as Methuselah. You will corrupt every damn one that comes in your presence. So he gives us time to prepare. 70 years, 70 days, just prepare for it. He gives us time to prepare for death. Cut out your clowning, jackass foolishness. You better stop that. You older heads, you better stop that. And you young ones better stop it. Let me read. And also alchemy, the power of the magical rendition of taking something that is invaluable. At one time they called it fool's gold. Taking something they called it zirconia. Take an old piece of a rock and everybody think that you got it at 10,000. Don't you know that's deception and lies? What you pay for that? Oh, no, you know this. My husband bought me this. It's not worth a damn thing. All of this is the mastery of trickery to bring us into the gutters and the grips of hell, nation. Whereby we defy Yah, and that's what was taught. Why are you showing us that, preacher? I want to go back to one thing what Azazel taught them. He taught them the shadowing of the eyes with antimony or pure cosmetic. I want you to go quickly to Sirach. Sirach chapter 26. Sirach 26, one verse I want to read. Verse 9. I want you to hear this. It says, the whoredom, the violent uncleanliness, the Zana, Sirach 26:9, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughtiness or her gaba, in her arrogance and her violent ways that are so unclean. Lust lustful look, the lustful looks, the lustful looks of what? Her eyelids. The lustful looks of her eyelids. No woman without dye and paint on her eyelids. A woman that paints up herself like a clown of a whore. She puts on those false eyelids. She got it all mascaring up, and she looks at a man, and she winks at a man, and she makes her eyes speaks more than a whore. Only a whorish woman, and we are a woman that's full of every kind of damnable, twisted whoredom there is. We are violent people. A woman of whoredom. She's going to put on pook. She's going to change the dimension of your eyes. I looked at a picture of that old woman, McCain's mother. This Jezebel painted up just like anyone else. You can be afraid to call her Jezebel. She was a Jezebel from J Street, and she's a Jezebel at 103, and she's going to die a damn old fool. You can tell the whoredom of any nation and people. You can tell what they express, what they love. You can tell a lot about a woman by looking at her eyes. And she can tell that you're just as lustful and full of whoredom as she is. So that's what he begins with the whorish woman. Does Yah call us a whorish woman?
Yes.
Does he call a hola and a holabah whores?
Yes.
Isn't that the house of YisraYah'ale?
Yes.
And did they paint themselves up? Did they paint their eyes up? Did they allure the young, strong warriors and say, come lie in my bed? Did they do that? And we got that same seed of violent whoredom in us. It didn't come from Yah. Don't tell me that's a culture. It can be your culture, you false and you damnable ones that go into the mantra, you Hebrew Israelite. You're damn devils and you're liars. You're not the seed of YisraYah'ale. I don't give a damn how black your skin, what kind of slavery, and how white your damnable white Aryan Hebrew Israelite doctrine is. It's all lies. I love this man. By the hearing of this teaching, this was going to save me. I love him. And I care for him greatly. And I take care of him. I take care of him. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When his truth is right, it's right. Well, that doesn't speak much. Well, let's go here and look again. Here in Proverbs, Mishli, chapter 6, verse 24, we're dealing with this book, the coloration of one's eyes, and all of this cosmetic. You don't realize how much money that these fools are making off cosmetic today. And the weave hairs and all of that. Market, black and regular market, it is a $25 billion industry. I could build a nation that is rich and powerful for $25 billion. I can build a nation with 25 million that will supersede all of the arguments of what a nation should be. Well, there above all things is a great care. Isn't that something Mr. Trump gave all the wealthy tax cuts? Yet those people that are in government, he's got to think about whether they should get a raise this year. He's a damn dog.
Yes.
And all of them.
Yeah.
And same thing with Mr. Barack Hussein Obama, that spoke for the faggots and gave the faggots every right. You that voted for him ought to be a damn shame of yourself.
Yes.
I made no vote. He voted for me, and that's all that matters. Mr. Obama did not make it better for me. And Mr. Trump, do your thing, because you're in the hands of Yah. That's all that matters to me. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 24. Let's see if we can identify this word's its power. Yah says that wisdom is, Proverbs 6:24, to keep you from the evil woman. You understand that? He called the woman a whorish woman, and now he calls her an evil woman. From those that flatters and talks smooth with their mouth, of the tongue of a strange woman. Those that are estranged from YisraYah'ale, those that don't even know Yah, you marry, or you want one that has no love for Yah, you're going to catch hell. I don't give a damn who you are. She's going to give you hell, man. She's going to cause you agony and trouble. She's a stranger unto the commonwealth. That's what the Torah calls her, a nukriya. A nukriya. She has no love for Yah. She is a pretender. Yes. How in the hell can she love you, man? Listen to this. The Torah says don't lust for her beauty. Don't look at her shape. Don't look at her. Don't lust for her beauty in your lap. Don't say, I got to have her. I want her. She's my. I got to have her. Y'all says don't look for her. Neither let her take you with her eyelids. Does it say that?
Yes.
You don't let that whorish stranger take you by coloring her eyes and looking at you all some kind of a strange way. Don't allow her to do that. You'll be taken by her eyelids. This was taught by Azazel, that you can pretend you're right. And we know you under the guise of our commands. Damn the commands of Yah. That's what they said. Yes. You can sit here all pompous and self-righteous. He said, damn the commands of Yah. I'm showing you the expression. You say the same thing. Damn what he says. I don't see no reason why. He told us the reason why. Because he commanded us. He doesn't give a damn about the way you think and the way you feel. The way you think and the way you feel has not produced one damn thing. It doesn't produce longevity. It doesn't produce life. And who was more wealthy than Mr. McCain's wife and he? He had the best of the doctors of the world would say. And yet he died. So I don't care what kind of intelligence you think you possess, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't produce longevity. It doesn't bring life. We better humble ourselves in the presence of Yah. And you, hold on, listen. You know you're humble when you condescend to each other and you calf each other. I never tried to be pompous with the Achim. Daughters, I leave you alone. I want us to be the strength of this community. But I will go up in any man and break down the walls of his corruption. And you think you're sweet, don't you? Every damn one of us think that. That's how corrupt we are. Well, I am. Well, do you love me like you love yourself? That's the answer there. Do you love me like you love Yah? Two commandments are the same. Love him with all, and love your neighbor with the same love. Don't give me that bullshit thing, all right? Because we don't give a damn about. We will love the wickedest of the wicked. Yes. We will justify the most damnable and violent, sadistic ones. And cover for them. You will not cover for one damn Kedusha. I'm glad his blood covers me. I'm so glad. And we'll proceed further. And what about the earrings and nose ring? I got you. Go back quickly to Enoch. Chanukh chapter 8 verse 2. I want mine to be upon line, and I want everything to balance out, all right? Enoch 8:2. The Torah says, and there were many, Rabbah. There were many wicked ones. What did they do? They committed Na'af. I want you all to retain that. Na'af. It's more than a man or woman lying together. They had their idolatrous ways and their strange gods, and they had their own kind of idolatrous worship. Can I show you an example of what idolatrous worship is? Quote, I'm so proud of my son. Unquote. I'm proud of my children. I can knock on wood that they're good children. They have become your damn God. There's not one that is tough. But Yah. And this is prevalent among us today. It is an idolatrous form of worship. Well, I can speak that way. You know, they're not doing anything bad. They're devilish. They're wicked. They are the children of the wicked. They're the sons of men. That's who they are. And you can say they're nice and sweet. They are not. Isn't that amazing? We will say that they are wonderful, but you will never say that about YisraYah'ale. She's a beautiful daughter. How many, or when the last time you walked to a daughter and say, you're a beautiful daughter? Or man, you walked him and embraced him and you're strong, brother. I appreciate you. How often you do that? We're full of our own bullshit. You're not going to get back with me. I don't care who you are. We're full of it. You don't give a damn about each other because you don't care about him. We're in our culture. This is our culture I'm showing you, all right? It says that there were many wicked ones and they committed na'af. And they caused themselves to err, or they erred. And all of their conduct, does it say, and all their conduct? Yes. Does it say all or partial? All of your conduct will become mirama, corrupt, treacherous, deceitful. You can look at a friend, you call a friend, and you can lie right in their face and you know you're damn lying. Yes. You can say, I love you, and you know you don't give a damn. Yes. You say, I care for you, and you know there is nothing in you that cares for no one. You don't even care about yourself because you correct yourself. Mother, don't tell me. I'm not telling any of your fathers, don't correct your children and spank them. I'll just tell you, don't do it in my presence. Don't do it in the earshot of me, all right? You take them home and you do righteously by them. Yeah. But just don't do it around me, all right? Yeah. Everyone that he calls his son whom he loveth, he corrects. And you say you correct, you walk in the pattern of Yah, and you go to correct them that you say you love, you are a damnable liar. You have no truth in you. If he corrects us enough, then we're the mamzia. We're dirty, stinking bastards. Yes. Correct me, Yah. Put your rod of correction upon me. Show me how vile, how unclean I am. I want him to correct me. Hallelujah. Look at verse 3. He talks about Imaras. He taught them incantation or lachash. He taught them like what the amulets are and the charm of things. And those amulets were worn by women to ward off evil things. Yeah. In essence, they give you mother's rings with all the charms and the precious stones, and they have a mother pendant for Mother Day, and they celebrate these things that are so damnable and evil. They're celebrating the mothers of the heavens. All right? They're not celebrating Yah. These men were what we call the fathers of Yah's council, these Melachim. And so we see this translating here. I've got a chart of every holiday we celebrate and everyone throughout the world, how they came about. From Father's Day to Christmas, all of them has nothing. This is what they brought down unto the people now. He says, Amaras, he taught them incantation and the cutting of roots, root working and all of that. And Amaros, that was Amaras and Amaros. He taught them the resolving of ashaf or incantation to cast out exorcism and all of that. Isn't the Catholic Church the mother of exorcism? Yes. Aren't all these men that talk about Jesus Christ and say they're casting out demons, they're not casting out a damn thing. And that's a fact. Yes. And there was one called Yal. He taught them astrology, the interpretation, and the influence of the heavenly bodies. I'm going to teach on astrology one day, and I will show you why, all of that he placed in the heavens. I will show you your side of it. I know it. I got a message over there. I began that 2 years ago on just that. It says, and Kokriel, he taught them the knowledge of Uth, signs, warnings. Can I stop there for a minute? Yeah. I want to read us two things, all right? Just hold your fingers there. I want to read this. He taught them the sign Uth, a distinctive mark. I'll get back to him, but I'll read this, and you find it when you go home. It says this. It says this in the book of Exodus. I will read this quickly. It says, speak you also to the children of YisraYah'ale, saying, my Shabbat that has AS on it. As we come to the word of Yah, he said, my Shabbat, you shall shema, you shall guard, for it is an oath, it is a sign, it is a sign, it is a distinguished mark between being, it is distinctive between me and you throughout your generations. Yeah. That you may know that I'm Yah, that does set you apart. Yeah. Let's go back to him. I want to read something else. Hallelujah. It says that he what? Kukra. He taught what?
Knowledge.
He taught what?
Knowledge.
Hallelujah. He taught us the signs. And all of the signs there were concerning. He taught us signs. He taught us signs. He taught us utha. He taught us warnings. That's what he taught us. Yeah. See, the warnings we have, or the signs we have to warn us, they're not of the heavens, are they? We do wicked, and we know we're wicked, and we keep pressing on that we're just that wicked. Yes. We have no sensitivity, no understanding. We don't even hear ourselves. Yes. Sure, another thing. This is the only oath that Yah gave his people. It's in Exodus again. It says, the Shabbat, Modem, it is a sign between me and the children of YisraYah'ale forever. Yes. Just read the whole chapter. Exodus or Shemot 31. It is a sign. This is what Yah gave us the Shabbaton for. I'm here singing and dancing, and I'm thinking about the feast of Shofar, Moed Shofar, and thinking how I want to do it this year, just so the children would celebrate. With some of us so damned of a twisted heart, old heads, we don't give a damn. We're insolent, we're hard in our hearts. As long as my babies rejoice, that's all right. We don't teach them the beauty of those things. And I'm thinking here, if I have to spend money, we don't have the money. I'm telling you, the offerings that have come in here, they've been cut down to a third. And that's just a fact. People don't love me. You all have to understand that. I'm not like one of them. I don't talk like these shysters. And that's just a fact. I deal with the sins of his nation. The haftar, the violent ways that we produce. It says this, it's a sign between you and me, children of YisraYah'ale, hallowed forever. For in the 6th day Yah made the Shemayim and the Olam, and on the 7th day he rested. And he what? He was the one on that day, he nafash. He refreshed himself. In essence, he took a breath and said, how beautiful that is. Yeah. And so that's why we come to his bed on the Shabbat, that we can be refreshed, say how beautiful he is. Of the testimony of Yahshua. You don't bring your burdens on the Shabbat. You cast down your evil ways and your wicked ways. Yeah. You identify them and you know you got them.
Yes. Hallelujah.
One more. He taught them oaths, didn't he? Yeah. These are the oaths of Yah. He didn't teach them this. This is in Yeshkel chapter 20, Ezekiel 20. And set apart my Shabbats. That's what he says, my Shabbat. And they shall be an oath, a sign between me and you may know that I'm Yah, Yehovah. You're not enthusiastic about the motive of Yah? Yeah. You don't put aside $1, $2, or dime to send a gift to help the works of Yah? You're evil. This is the oath that
Yeah.
He didn't teach. This is the uth, the sign to make us distinguish. He just said, these are my uth, these are my signs between you and me, my nation. But it says that he taught them knowledge of signs. And Daniel taught them the seeing of the stars, to understand the pattern of the zodiacs and the signs of the heaven. I'm going to teach all this one, all right? I'm going to teach this before y'all moves me out of the way. I got solid records on everything I've taught since I've been here. You all can take them, refresh yourself, remind yourself.
Yes.
It's in the book to remind us.
Yeah.
Not every letter that y'all wrote is in this book. He says, the seeing of the star, and Esther taught the course of the moon. Now, who taught the course of the moon? I said, y'all gave us the moon, didn't he? He gave us 7 days, and he knows it is a pattern of time, and he put that innate in man. And when the skies was dark, when there was no moon, when no one didn't see a damn thing, he knew exactly when the time was. He put that distinctively and instinctively in us. He says that he taught the course of the moon as well as, look at this now, the lunar stuff. He taught deception. Does it say that?
Yeah.
He taught us Ovid. And you got these damnable lunar liars. You got these lunatic liars. And they have gone to the school of Esther. He has taught them deception of the moon and lies of the moon and telling them this is how you determine the Shabbat. Y'all didn't put that in man's hand. And I will say to all of them, which ones you keep? Yes. Show me your dates. Well, there are those that keep the 15th and all up, and there are those that keep the 8th day. How do you determine that from a year out? They're damn liars. Like that fat dog that I kicked off of these grounds, that Pennington dog down there in Georgia. He called me last year when he saw you all at the beach. You twisted, damnable devil.
Yes.
Yeah, I just worked on my heart, told me to get it right with you. I said, you don't have to get nothing right with me. You think I will walk hand in hand with that devil? Can I ask you a question? If I committed adultery on my wife just with this kind of knowledge, you think she could ever trust me? I wouldn't trust her. I don't want to touch her. I can see if she didn't know Yah, we both ignorant.
Yes.
But to know this kind of truth,
Yes.
and she go beyond the fidelity and the truth of that, I would never touch her. I would leave her. I would divorce her. I would be all right by myself. I'm not going to hold on to her. Different thing what I did when I didn't know the truth. I was ignorant like any other man. You were ignorant like any other woman. I will not charge her with that when we had no sense of the knowledge of Yah. But if she did that now, she will go to hell. Get out of my house. I will sell everything I got to give her enough to get gone from me. That's a fact. You can say what you want to. Hallelujah. We have divorced our first love. It said that not only did he teach them the course of the moon, as well as the deception of man. That's what it says in Hanuch 8:3. That's what it says, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He taught them the way man deceives us and tricks us. If a man teaches from Torah, it is not powerful enough to cut in the depths of our corrupt, wicked, evil hearts and show us the violence of our evil ways. Then something is wrong, YisraYah'ale. It must reveal unto us the deception. I don't want to talk to anyone that we just go chit-chat. I don't chit-chat with men. I don't talk to men. I call my Zachin Tamas at least one time a day or twice. And I talk to him about the things of Yah, although at times he doesn't comprehend. And this is one thing that he'll say to me, which he's never said in all the years I've known him. I said to him the first day, I said, Zachin, you know I love you. And you could hear his voice the crackling. I love you so much. I love you. I said, if your God said to me this, I want to come see you again. I understand things, you understand? He has been a faithful and kind man to not see you. There's other time he doesn't ask about you all. She was in the house the other day, and I was talking to him. She says, that's Zachin Tamasya.
I watch them cry when I tell about his condition. And every time, I love you, Pastor. We don't even tell each other how we care. I want my love to be more than words. I want it to be an expression. I want to express my heart. I want to be able to look in my eye to my wife and look in your eyes. How can you know? Even after I rebuke you. We're false. We're phony as hell. We're not real. And you're going to hell that way. And I tell men that I don't give a damn who what is. I will tell them the truth. It is their walk in correction that corrects my ways. I'm careful with Zion. I don't want to do anything to offend us or to bring a canker of a worm in the midst of. I won't do that. I'd rather be wrong, but I will show you how wrong you are. These men don't give a damn about you. I said to this man right down the street, when I passed yesterday, if I had seen him, I was going to give him one of those watermelons. They were sweet. I tasted them. And I said to the owner, the lady there with him, I said, I got a grandbaby. She's going to show. I said she's going to show me every seed in that watermelon. I got to get it out. So make sure you give a piece without seeds. There's one there, Poppy. You didn't get that one. And so when I was coming home, I said, if I see that person, I will give them a melon. I stopped by one day and said, I will bring you a load of wood. No, I ain't going to show you where you come get all the wood you want. You're going to separate it the way I showed you. And if you want to have the old man behind you, that's all right. But I'm not going to embrace that. Yes. And I said to him one day that Ken folks, and people that all that you all knew when you left me, they don't give a damn about you. His words, we don't care. No one gives a damn about anyone. They love to talk and talk lies, but when it comes to truth and honesty, they don't give a damn about you. That's a fact. See, what about is others with me, I can deal with a man like that. I didn't see him, so I didn't give him a water. We got some beautiful melons. So I'll tell you that later on, all right? Something wonderful I'm going to tell us, brother. Hallelujah. And said in verse 4, and the people cried, and their voices reached unto the heavens of Yah. You think they were crying to Yah? They were crying for their gods. And Yah says, isn't this a shame? They have learned from these violent, reprehensible individuals that rebel against me, that have seduced the daughters of Zion. Daughters, I love you all, but don't sell yourself for a cheap nickel-dime pleasure. Let us know, all right? You don't sell yourself, woman, for some kind of little 2-minute. It's not even a pleasure. It's not even a pleasure. There's no sense of beloving when they finish their little activity. That ain't right. The man is thoroughly furnished. He has the wisdom and understanding. It is beyond comprehensiveness. It is such a beautiful thing you can express it in terminology. The only thing you do is rest in it. That's all you can do. It's a fact of the matter. We're so damn polluted, we don't even know the beauty of that. And that's a fact. Now can I, with that little bit of historical reference, I want to get in what the Torah called the Nezim, the Nezim. That is the earring, the nose ring, and whatever ring you want to call it. It is a word that, the word Nezim, it has no, in its roots definitive, it has no origin or originality. It has no meaning as to the sense that we can define a diamond ring or a diamond earring. And every Tom, Dick, Harry, and every man, faggot at all, they wear them today. Wear them in the nose, their tongue, They wear them under their eyes, 10 or 20 on this side, 15 on that side. They wear them everywhere. They wear them in the navel and all of that. You are the ones that say that this is the culture of the Hebrew Israelites. And it's probably the culture of you that identify with a false delusion as a Hebrew Israelite. But it is a culture of hell. And I will prove it as I began. It has come from the deepness of the darkness of hell. It has come from those messengers that rebel against Yah. That's who it's come from. That's why I say, if Yah lets us live, we will corrupt things even the more. Yah removed everyone off the earth and he destroyed the wicked. And yet there were 8, what he calls Sadiq, righteous nefesh, wasn't it? And one of the first things that would transpire among them, one walks in to see the nakedness, the nakedness of his father. So that damn seed is there. It was sown in the nature of Adam, and we all came from that same Adam. You're rid the earth of every kind of corrupting, every kind of statue of gods, and every kind of damnable thing. But that thing was there. It's there. It was hidden in the midst of your frontal lobe. You know, you recall things that happened 20 years ago? It was there. Part of your DNA. And then you heard the messengers of hell. But he didn't get me. But he didn't get me. And Yah said, I've cast you beyond the doors of hell. I've cast you out into outer darkness. And yet the cry of the damnable voices cried unto the people, even after Yah rendered his power of great devastation upon the earth. We're crazy people, I'm telling us that. Can I go and show us something? I will show you the first time in Torah, in Bereshit. I would have begun here, that the word Naksim or Naksim is pronounced here in Bereshit. Let's move quickly. Genesis, Bereshit chapter 24 and verse 21. This is Abraham's servant, is Abraham, as he sent him unto Mesopotamia to find an issue for his son. He wanted a wife. He wanted one for his grandboy. It says this here. And the man wondered, Genesis 24:21, and the man wondered at her when he saw Rebekah. Genesis 21, Rebekah, when the seed of the loin of Jacob will come forth. And the man wondered at and held his peace to know whether Yah had made his journey prosperous or not. He didn't move with his own proclivity, but he had to make sure that this was the one that he would cover. Listen now. And it came to pass, as the camel had done drinking, the man took a golden sin, a golden earring of a half shekel weight, and he took 2 bracelets for her hand of 10 shekels of weight. Now we can see where Azazel taught. You see how that same violent creeping in of that wickedness. You're in no place. He's going to dress us in his dressing. He's going to put his earrings on us. And can you see all that which was wiped out? Can you see how it has crept its ugly head up? Well, that was Abraham. Well, okay, then it should be a custom of just the Hebrews, isn't it? So you tell me that wasn't a custom of the land? You gonna tell me that day that that same custom was not a custom of the land, that everybody wore earrings and nose rings? You gonna tell me that damnable lie, and you tell me it's only associated with what we call the Hebrew Israelites? You are as wicked as the one that taught you that twisted lie. He gave her an earring. And this trash we call gold today, he gave her those what he calls samin or samit. He gave her that to be a covering. You have been covered, your hand have been asked for, you have been assured because you fit all the qualifications. He gave her that, didn't he? Let me show us this then. I will ask you a question. If that is so pure, let me read this. Go to Bereshit 35, Genesis. This is when Yah commanded Yaakov to go to Bethel. He commanded him, Genesis 35, verse 1, I want to begin. He commanded him to put away all your idols. That's what he commanded him. To put away that which is violent and evil. Now I want to show you something. He told him to put away all of his idols. It says in verse 1, and Yah said to Yaakov, arise and go up to Bethel and dwell there. And he said, I want you to make me a Mizbeach. And this is what Yah is talking about, a Mizbeach. It is called the altar. I want you to make me a Mizbeach. I want you to make me an altar. I want you to make me an altar to Yah. That appeared to you, that appeared to you when you fled from the face of Esau, your brother. I want you to build something of great importance where we can meet. And then Yaakov said to his household and to all that were with him, look what he says now. I want you to put away your gods. It says strange gods.
Yes.
I want you to put away your gods that are among you. These are comments in these statements that gives an independent cause to pronounce or to signify what was said before. He said, and I want you to be tahor. I want you to be clean. I want you to clean yourself. And I want your minds to be renewed. That's what the tahor express. I want you to be renewed. And he said, I want you to halaf. I want you to change your garment. We must put on the garment or the simla of righteousness, which come from Shemel, which come from Shemel. The word Simla comes from Shemel, which is the word that expresses images of gods and idols. And we dress like the damn world. We carry ourselves like the world. We should dress like that. Your daughter should dress like that. You dress like the gods. He said, I want you to change your garments. I want you to change yourself. And this is what Yaakov said in verse 3. And let us arise, and let us go up to Bethel. And this is what he said, I will make an altar to Yah, who answered me in the day of all of my sarah, the distress that Esau brought upon me, and was with me in the way which I went. He was with me all the way. Verse 4. And they gave, look what it says now. He told him, hold that right there. Let's go back to verse 2. He told them to do what? Put away what? Set alone. He said, put away the strange gods that are among you. Does it say? And there's a comma, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's go back here. He says, hallelujah. And Yah answered me in my distress and was with me in the way I went. Verse 4. And they gave to Yaakov. Does it say that?
Yes.
They granted no fund to Yaakov. All the strange gods.
Yes.
All the strange gods which were in their hands.
Yes.
And there's a comma, isn't it?
Yes.
See, these were the gods. This had come by the message of the God, and all their earrings. Does it say that?
Yes.
You know it's a God that is evil. I'll prove it out here. Which were in their what? Ears. Now these were the people of Yah. They didn't have no nose ring. It said which? Was in their ears.
Yes.
I'm going to tear this whore down.
Hallelujah.
You men that got the earrings and in your ears and your wife ears, you're nothing but a slave to your own damn strange gods. Let me go a little further. Look what it says now. It says, and Yaakov hid them. Does it say he hid them?
Yes.
Like we hide our sins and we try to hide from Yah. And Yaakov hid them under the oak.
Yes.
That was by Shechem. We do that. They hid them because they were going back to get them. You don't put something in hiding unless you're going back to get it. You don't hide money unless you're going back to get it. He hid them that they could go back to their own damn ways and their corrupt ways. You hide things in your mind, you hide things in your heart, and you draw back on that damnable thing. If it was so right, he told them to turn away from their strange gods. And yet not only did they bring their strange gods, but they brought the earrings because Azazel was a strange god, and that God had given them the instructions of your damn nose rings and your earrings and your bangles and your bracelets and all of that damnable trash.
Yeah.
You see why I'm not bringing out. That's all right, I'm not finished. I bring out the truth. Did y'all tell them to bring all their strange gods?
Yes.
Get their strange gods?
Yeah.
So we don't think that because we got on your earring and your nose ring and your bangles and your bracelet, you think you're beautiful, don't you? You look in the mirror, them earrings, you got them down, shingling down off of you. Got in your boogery nose some kind of nose ring. Nasty booger nose.
Yeah.
Yes, boogery.
Yes.
Not only did they give up the strange gods, but they gave up their idols of God. What was that? You think that was just some kind of statue they had? I explained to us the word simla come from the word shinashwashim. I explained that stuff. And it means idols and idolatrous gods and carpet. It means the covering of their dress. And they gave up on the strange dressing.
Yes.
But they said, I got to go back. You know about the one that took all the precious garments he thought, but Yahweh killed the bastard.
Yes.
Hit him in the tip. Did he bring down death upon YisraYah'ale? You wearing trash that you shouldn't wear.
Yes.
You wearing spirits you got to get off of you, man, woman. You got to get that mess out of your heart. You wearing that foolish mess in you, in your heart, and that's what dress you. It dress your countenance, dress your presence, it dress you. That's what make your face contort. That's what make you change, and that what make you look different. It change your eyelids, it change everything about you, and that is the truth.
Yes. Yeah.
They brought all of that, didn't they?
Yes.
You see the first place? Well, the first of the Yah's people, the Hebrew, brought in said to Rebekah, you're the one, for Yaakov. He gave her bangle, because he knew the bangle was for the covering. He knew that Azazel, that trash, and the stories had come back, and had come to the lion of the nation that Yah began to reproduce. Listen, it doesn't take that long for a nation to reproduce. We as a people, we came here after slavery. There was something like, in 1875, there were only like 4 or 5 million of us on my hill, and damn there 45 million in America. You think it takes thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of generations? That's how stupid we is. We're some of the most damnable dumb people in the world. And we got something to tell everybody. That's a fact. That's a fact. And we're at least 40 million strong in this nation. It doesn't take long for a generation, 1,000 years to be. I have shown us, if I go back 2,000 years, it took 500,000 people on both sides, my mother and father, to bring me in the world, and all of you only took that. And in the sense of kinsmen in the natural, we were no kin to each other. So it took the same amount to bring her here, it took the same amount to bring me here. It took the same amount to bring you here, it took the same amount to bring you here. Same amount. How do you know? Because I have gone and painstakingly done it. I got it on my system now. I spent about 6 hours one day doing my assignment. See, I'm not one that talk like fools talk, with no knowledge. I talk with substance.
Yes. Yeah.
I talk because I've done the labor.
Yes.
That's how many it took. That's a lot of people. So you figure 500,000 for you, all of you all. Yeah, for you too. It took him to bring you here. 500,000 for you, 500,000 for you, 500,000 for him, 500,000 for him. That's 2 million people. And they were all different in the sense. We had no relationship. Can I move further, my friends? So this we can see this. So they hid all the earrings and stuff. Why would you hide that? Why would you associate that with a strange God? But that's what they did, didn't they? And YisraYah'ale has always struggled with that, is idolatry. That's why you still want to have a little fervor for Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's why you eat that damn turkey and all of that. You still got a little sense of it. You want to go around them damn devils and dogs at that time. And when I didn't come to eat, but you find yourself eating, I will not go around them.
Yeah.
You want to try to incorporate that in. Yet they will not come around you for your moed. The Yah says these are my Shabbats. And they don't give a damn about you, but you try to slither in like a damn snake of a devil, of a dog, and we'll be a part of the damnable twisted lying ways that we know that Yah is against it. You are as evil as you talk. I want to go a little further, all right?
Yeah.
And they journey in verse 5, and they journey, and the terror of Yah was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after Yaakov. Now you see what Yah done, you would think that they would say, now let's burn this gold. Let's burn everything. Let the dross of it melt into the soil and let's fill it out. It's almost like a woman keeping the picture of the old late boyfriend, and she's got a husband now. Or the man got pictures of some whore he has slept with, and he got a wife. Now, you understand what I'm saying? And every now and then he go revisit the picture. Now, I wouldn't have a picture for her in my house. I would burn it all up. I wouldn't have one stitch of her clothing in my house. I would burn it all up. I'm not holding on to anything. And we hold on to trust like that. We hold on to our filthy ways. You got your mantle plastered with every kind of damnable, deceitful one, full of lies and corruption. And it reminds you of them. Your gods, your strangers from Yah. I don't know what you say. I walked in one house, and I went there one time. And I had painted their home there in Charlotte. And I looked up on the mantle, and I saw this picture. I said, that ain't right. That doesn't look like a woman there. It's strange. Come to find out, that old twisted, wicked woman had a picture of a damn hermaphrodite homosexual dressed like a woman, titties changed. Her friend's son. That's evil. That's so wicked, it's pathetic. That's so evil, it's insane. And that old wicked woman, she's going to die that way. What about you? Well, take me now, Yah. I'll feel the sense of joy, sadiq on me. I don't want to die like this. We'll defend wickedness, but we won't defend righteousness. Ain't that many people defend me. Hallelujah. Look quickly. Let's go to Shimon. I will ask you a question. Now you say that there are those out there that say this is a culture. You up there with your wives with a big booger nose ring in. I call it a booger ring. It's a booger ring.
Yes.
That's right. Your nose is boogery. You got a big booger ring in your nose. You tell me that's of Yah? You tell me that that was a culture instituted by Yah only for the Hebrew Israelites? Well, let me ask you a question. Go to Shemoth with me. Do you mind? Yeah. All right, Exodus chapter 32, verse 1. Let me see. That's where I want to go first. Hallelujah. I want to go to Numbers. Go to Bereshit. So you said that this is only the culture of the Hebrew Israelites. And this is an important cultural experience that changed us inwardly, that we should get our nose pierced. Men with big booger rings in their nose. Some never take them out. Booger collectors. Now I want to ask you a question. If this is something, is the Shabbat a sign and oath for us? It is only for YisraYah'ale. Is it only for YisraYah'ale? Yes, it is. It is only for the true Hebrew Israelites. That's what the Shabbat or the Shabbats, they're there where we can come and eat meat. That's what the book said. I read it. And we saw where the signs of the oaths were taught unto a people that was corrupt. Right? And also wearing the earrings and all that. Well, let me ask you a question. Be met Mark 4:7. This is Balaam here. When Yah calls death for the nation, Numbers 31:7. I want to begin there. If this is only this is a sign to YisraYah'ale, you get your nose pierced and your ears pierced. That's a lie, man. Old woman, you look silly, you look stupid. You don't look attractive. There's nothing more beautiful than a woman of your zirah, of your seed, and of your beautiful mahogany skin, with all of that trash, that damnable trash in your ears and in your nose, old silly woman. Look what it says in Numbers. I want to ask you a question when I'm finished. 31:7. And they SHABBAT, they warred against the Midianites, or the Midian, the people of strife. As Yahweh commanded Moshe, kill them all.
Yes.
Destroy them. It says that, doesn't it?
Yes.
As Yah commanded Moshe. And they harag, how many? All the male?
Yes.
All the males. Did they say that? They kill every last one of them.
Yes.
They kill every last one of them. Look what they did. And the children of YisraYah'ale took all the women of the Midianites, of the Midianites captive, and they took the little ones, and they took the spoils of all their cattle, and of their flock, and their precious items, their goods. And they burnt where they set off all the cities wherein they dwell, and all their encampment with fire. Yah told them to burn that. Let it fall under the dust of hell. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Now they did all that. They destroyed the cities and all of the encampment where they could hide. Now let's look down in verse 50. These were the Medes, right?
Yeah.
Midon. These were the people of strife. It says in 31:15, and therefore brought an oblation for Yah, and every man has gotten of the Kenny, the jewels of gold. They took the golds of chains. They called that the etzada, the ankle bracelet and all. They took what they call the somid. Does it say that? Does it say they took the bracelets?
Yes.
And the rings and the earrings? Does it say that?
Yes.
And the tables?
Yes.
And to make a kippur of the nefesh of Abba. Who did they take them from? They took them from the Midah.
Yes.
Is this a custom of just only the YisraYah'alites? They killed all the men.
Yes.
They took all the earrings. They took all the jewelry. They took all the gold.
Yes.
And they took it and they said, this is our oblation unto Yah. This is for the booty of the king. And they smelted it all down. They melted it. So you tell me that earrings and bracelets and all of the booger rings are only for the Hebrew Israelites? If they are the one, that's the culture of theirs. Then why would the men that Yah says that I want you to destroy or Mitzvah, why would they have them all? Why would they? No cultures don't do the same thing as others. There are cultures that they do things that are dressed that are distinct from all others. That's a fact of the matter. And yet they kill all the men. They kill all the men. And when they had done the devastation that Yah commanded them, they took all the bracelets, the sumim, and they took all the chains, they took all the golds and the jewelry and the tablets, and they made an atonement. They made an atonement for our nefesh before Yah. And Moshe and Eleazar and the Kohen took the gold of them, and even all the jewelry, and all the gold and the offering they offered to Yah, and the captains of thousands and the captains of hundreds, and 6,750 shekels. Took it all. And killed every man. So you tell me that the Midianites are the only one that wore earrings? No, it's the culture of the Hebrews. That's a lie. That's a lie. That did not make your ears with holes in them, but to hear. He made your holes in to hear. He did not put an arrow in your, an anul in your ear to show that we're slaves. We're not slaves of Yah. We're the free citizen of New renewed Yerushalayim.
Yeah.
And then when he put the jewels on us, it's not like this trash that you call gold, okay? It is the pure gold of his righteousness that we're going to wear. We're going to wear the charms on our necks and upon our head. They can't say the crowns of his great splendor.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to wear, this cheap mask. And so you tell me that they stole the culture from the Hebrews, or was this from Azazel from the beginning? And that seed was in the heart, and it was still there. There was a little bit there left, even when y'all devastated everything, wasn't it? That's why Yeshua said, a little leaven, leaven the whole lot. If you don't get your twisted mind right, if you don't stop your twisted, damnable lying ways that you pretend you love, you don't show no affection, not even yourself. You're going to hell. That's a fact. I would have loved to have had a man to teach me like this in my days. I can't imagine where I would be now in Yah's wisdom of Torah. And that I could see his life. I love Evander Hartsfield, but he believed in Christmas. I knew it was wrong. He put up a big tree. And all of that mess. He would sit around on Thanksgiving and cook a turkey. And all of that. So Yah had to separate. I didn't follow his footsteps in that kind of trash. Yah had to separate me from him, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Although I loved him with great dearness. Yah said, son, but he doesn't know what I'm going to teach you. No, he didn't send a melech to teach me. He sent the ruach of the melech. Just read and be quiet. And you will hear it reverberated. And you will know when it's right. I'm glad I didn't follow and pursue him. And the last time I called him 3 times. And the last time I talked with that old man, I said, that's it. I said, I'm going to hang up. And he's gone off for me. I said to him, sir, I'm going to say bye. He's still going on. And when I said it the 3rd time, I hung up because I had to go and teach the people of Yah. Let's go quickly here. We're going to go back to Shimon. Let's go quickly. Let's go quickly to Yashar. 57:42. These are the sons of Esav. They made war with the sons of Yaakov, right? Now those that wear their booger rings, they call them nose rings, and their earrings, they say this is a culture. Tell me, what does it provide for us? What does it provide for a true Hebrew Israelite? What is so distinct by wearing a booger ring in your nose? Well, you can go among the Hindus and they all wear booger rings. And they wear pure gold, pure than that trash you call gold here. They wear the bracelets, the amulets and all that. The women wear all of that. The gold bracelet that swirls around their arm with serpents and all. You know that it's not of Yah, you lying devils. It says in Yeshua 57:42, and all the children of Esau took him, and they anointed him. They wanted him a king because Yaakov and his boys had put the stone down on Esau. And they crowned him for a king. And they bowed down to him, and they said to him, may the king live, may the king live. And they spread it out, the sheet. And they brought him. They brought this before each man earrings of gold and silver and rings and bracelets. These are the sons of Esau being destroyed. These are the sons of Yaakov. Said, we will take everything they got. Kill them, take the earrings, the nose rings, the booger rings. Each man, does it say that? earrings and gold and silver of rings of bracelets, and they made very rich in silver and gold and onyx stones and bdellium, and they made him royal thrones, and they placed a regal crown upon his head, and they built a place for him, and they dwelled therein, and he became the children of Esau. He became the king of Esau. This is now Esau. Now who earring did they steal? All right. And they brought all the rings like YisraYah'ale did from the Midians. Now, is this just a cultural thing with Israel? The sons of Esau wore earrings.
Yes.
Is this a cultural thing? They wore earrings and booger rings and bracelets. This is not of YisraYah'ale. It came from the teaching of Hazael. He's the one taught you. And man, you want to be ashamed of yourself. I never did like that even in the day. And that were those that wore them booger rings. Man, that's silly. I ain't kicking that. I did have an earring in this year. And it's still there. And from the day that his truth and all my English penetrated my heart, I never worn it up. And I get one there right now if I wanted to. I don't keep it open. Yeah, I had it right there. And then they started with both friends. I wasn't feeling that. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Nation, we got to get our hearts right.
Hallelujah.
We got to get it right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. What did I just read from? Yeshua 57?
Yes.
That's when the sons of Esau made war with the sons of Yaakov. And they destroyed them. I want to ask you all this question again. If earrings and all of that, and nose ring, the booger rings are a part of our culture, let's look at this quickly here. It's written in Shoftim, Judges. This is when Gideon, here in Judges 8, chapter 22. Let's read the context of this. Then the men of YisraYah'ale, they spoke unto Gideon. They said, rule, take authority, rule over us. Both you and your sons, and your son's son also. For we have delivered us, for you, Gideon, you have delivered us from the hands of the Midian, or the Midianites. We see the same case here. They took all their gold earrings, all their booger rings, all their golds and their armlets and their bracelets. They took all the women and the children. They killed the men, and they took the jewelry. And Gideon said to them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my sons rule over you. He said, Yah shall rule over you. That's what he said.
Yes.
That's precise in this narrative, isn't it?
Yes.
We don't want Yah to rule over us, and we're not going to let the power of his ruach in any man rule to instruct us in the counsel, the ways of Yah. And Gideon said to them, I would desire a request of you, that you would give me every man. Is that what it says?
Yes.
Did he say some of the men?
Every.
You sure said every man.
Every.
You're absolute certain.
Every.
Every man's what?
Every.
Of what?
Of his praise.
Of his what?
Of his praise.
So in essence then, you are my prey, my friend. I have destroyed you. I have to take your earring. He said, I want every man's earring of his prey. So were the Midians, were the Hebrew Israelites? No, they were not. So is this custom of your booger rings and your earrings, is it something that is essential to the culture of Israel or YisraYah'ale? No, it isn't. It was taught by Azazel, and that violence of that, by the power of Ka'an, it crept right back in. You saw that in the sons or in the daughters of the seed of that nation of people. You saw it. It's a fact. You saw it in the seed, nephew of Abraham, Yah commanded him. What's his name? I can't think. What's his name? He was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot. You saw what his daughters did. You saw what his daughters did. And that's when Yah had eradicated the earth, a very kind of vile, stinking thing. So don't come to me with your foolishness. That seed, can I ask you another question? Is the seed of the sin of Adam, is it still in us?
Yes.
It's in the DNA from the time. Just can't get rid of it. Only Yah can justify us and make us right. Only Yah can turn us around. And that through the true witness. Yahshua got to be real to you.
Yes.
He's got to be real in us, nation. And men may see the promise of that light in us. And they may ask us the reason of the tikvah we have. They must see something in us. They got to see more than you being smooth or clown or jackass. I don't play with no man. I don't clown with men. And I sure in truth do not clown with women of any kind. I don't play with them. I don't have no chit-chat casual. I don't. That's just not the way as they would say, the way I rock. I don't go that way. I don't play the game like that. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
Can I show you something? The last time I went out, there were several women walking. She was right in the midst. One said, "You look so wow, look at you." They don't care about your wife. And I'm like, woman, if I was a dog, I would run after you. I just look at them. And they get very casually friendly. And that's just a fact. I'm no fine man no more than your big belly, rose hanging over. Stop that. You're silly. You think you're something fine. Gut flapping over the side, and let's get real. This is just an evil world, and they know that there's something of evil. It just doesn't look like the rest of it. We should let the light of his witness shine. And men should see his honor in us, and they will ask us. And that's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact, nation. Not just us talking, being pompous and thinking that I'm that way, and we're not that way. In verse 23 again, Gideon said, "I will not rule over you at all, not one of you." Verse 24, Gideon said unto them, "I would desire a request. If you want me to rule, I ask you all of this, that you would give me every man the earrings of the prey, or the shalal, of the booty, the spoil, for they had golden earrings, because they were whole. They were the Ishmaelites. The sons of Ishmael. They had brought death on them. They had taken their booty. These men, I'm telling you, all you pastors and leaders, you tell the women to take the damn earrings out.
Yes.
It's evil, man. That's why they are haughty and heady and headstrong. Let me say this to you all. Don't come here and visit for tabernacle or any time with your earrings and all of that on. Take it off. You know, can I tell us something, nation? I will show you the stupidity of us. When those of Islam, when they make their Hajj to Mecca, when they make their Hajj to Mecca, it is one thing rule that applies. I don't care if the kings, the royals all go. Everyone has to make that Hajj. It's one thing that is so pronounced among all of them. You take off everything that signify what you are. You take off your gold rings, you take it all off. And everybody wears the same kind of garment. You don't wear a purple garment because you're rich, or everybody wears a white garment. You take off your jewelry, you take off everything. You take off everything. How do you know that? Well, almost 40 years ago I learned that. Because I did a study, and I do studies, and I research things like that. When you make your Hajj to Mecca, you must take everything off. And any Muslim will tell you that. The women dress in the same garb. The men all dress alike. The head coverings are alike. No, you don't come in there with a purple head cover. You don't come in there with a blue head cover. Look at the variation of head colors in here. Everyone wears the same kind of a garment. Yes. Everyone makes the Hajj wears the same kind of garment. You don't have on no earrings. You don't have on your gold rings. You don't have on no amulets. Nobody. Not their priest or no one. You all dress alike. And we all must dress alike with the garment, the simla, and that garment is Yahshua HaMashiach. Take the booger rings out of your nose. Yes. Take the earrings off and take all that trash off. You don't come here. I sent out a detailed dress code for you that will come and visit. No dresses, no skirts on the men. They laugh at that. People laugh, oh, you know it. But the same thing with your wife. Right. No breeches, no shorts, same thing. You don't laugh at that. Right. It's an abomination. Yes. It's a violent, evil thing. And you that are in your 60s, especially mid and older, there were times you never saw women, I didn't see that, with pants on. And that's a fact. And now these silly old crazy women can't even walk and they want to wear pants. Yes. You didn't see that. You go back to the day you didn't see women with earrings and all of that mess on. They didn't want it. And that was an identity of a sluttish thing. A woman that was rebellious and hard-headed. And you sure as hell didn't see no nose ring. You know if you saw one with a nose ring on. They go up north somewhere and come back. And when the ones went up north they came back, those were the ones wearing that. And that's a fact. You didn't see no big old earring down to the shoulder. Even when they wore them, they were small, and that's a fact. And see, y'all know who will become wicked. That's why he moved all the righteous ones out. And he knew all those ones that were of the seed of man, they were going to corrupt even worse. That's why he killed everyone, babies and all. Yes. He took them all out. And all those that walked with Yah, he kept them. And unless you walk with Yah, he's not going to keep you. You hear the truth, you don't harden your heart. You don't get angry. You get angry at those that will present unto us the message of truth. That is not a culture. Earrings are not cultures. They wear everything on the continent of Africa, from lip rings to earrings, to nose rings, to lip platters in their lips and all of that. You tell me that's of Yah? You got it with these big old discs in their ears and everything. I see a lot of white boys with that hair. And black boys too, and white gals too. Yes. And back in our day, they would say that was a heathenistic spirit. Yes. So you can't say that this is common when we have seen the Medes, the Ishmaelites, they all had earrings. Yes. Were they for Yah against Yah? Yes. They were against Yah. YisraYah'ale, when they wore earrings, were they for Yah against Yah? Yes. Did they come out of Mizraim with earrings on? Yes. Sure they did. Where did they learn that heathen mess from? I want to read this. We're going to finish today on this. And I got one more I want to teach on this. All right? Hallelujah. It says in Judges 8:25, and they answered, we were willing to give them. We will give you all the earrings. or the nose ring, the bracelet, we were willing to give them. And they spread a garment, and did cast therein every man the earrings of what? His prey. Because Yah was mad as hell at this rebellious, hard-headed people. He was going to annihilate them. And the weight of the gold and the earrings that were requested was 1,700 shekels of gold. Beside ornaments, beside all of their little special ornaments and collars and purple raiment and other kings of the Medians. And beside the chains were about the necks of the camels. You see, those that call themselves Hebrew Israelites, or whatever called in the metropolises of the world, in the New Yorks, the Baltimore, and they got these big old chains and these big old medallions and all of that mess. It's no different than the scribes and the Pharisees. That they want to make a statement, they want everybody to notice them. And daughters of Zion, when you wear your earrings and your nose rings, you want someone to notice you're a whore. That's a fact.
Yes.
I'm not going to lose, I wouldn't lose my nephews for one son, one daughter. Nobody. If I had a caboodle of youngins for my lords, I would not lose my nephews for one. I would tell them the truth. If they come around me, I would tell them the truth. Not sometime. I remind them of their wickedness. I would. That's love.
Yes.
Yah loves us.
Yes.
That's all this book does, is remind us.
Yeah.
Tells us how evil we is,
Yes.
how corrupt we is. It doesn't tell you how to get a house. It doesn't tell you how to get a house. It doesn't tell you, it tells you how to build the house.
Yes.
But this book doesn't tell you how to get a house.
Yeah.
It doesn't teach you how to get money. Because he is our wealth. These are the laws of these corrupt, effeminate men and women, these soft men that are set under the booty or the bosom of women that they call leaders and pastors and their instructor. You're not going to instruct me, daughters of Zion.
Yeah.
It's your love and your care for Yah and the nation that can instruct me greater than anything. You're not going to teach me. Now, if you can build a house, come teach me. You can come and work in the fields like me, come teach me. I don't believe you can work like me. I don't believe you can get in the fields like me. I don't believe you can build a house like me. I don't believe you can build this building like I helped build. I don't believe you could search out and find a rafter like that and the person that would say we can build it. Let's just modify it. Listen to me, YisraYah'ale. I don't say this to take from nothing on. I will never take from those that are left with me what they did. I appreciate it. But no man told me how to build this here. I searched for hour after hour. And there was not much on the internet back then. You understand? And I searched and I searched. And I searched for hours. I was sitting there, didn't have no air conditioner or nothing. That little room was hot there. And I found what they call the modified cream. Only thing we did was extended it. It was someone that had the expertise and the experience. Nobody told me that we couldn't afford to put no air conditioner in our dining hall. But what gave me the knowledge of that, I was in a greenhouse and it was 100 degrees that day. And I found that it was so cool in there. And I walked outside and saw those swamp coolers. I said, it'll work for us. And I remember the fool that lives down the road here. He said, it ain't gonna work. I said, go to hell. That's what I told him. Go to hell. Get out of my face. And I went to Simon the sorcerer. He said, we can do it. I know we can do it. Because they're making it work in the greenhouse. We tell them we can make it work. And I found that swamp cooler, those swamp coolers. I found them. I purchased them from Arizona. I read up on them. Well, you know they work so much better in places like where the humidity, the humidity doesn't stop. But I saw what it did at night. We couldn't afford it, son. The electric bill takes up 1/3 of the income that comes in here. But I knew it was work. And this fool gonna tell me it won't work. Well, it worked down in the greenhouse. That was cool in there. It'll work. It'll work. It'll work. And it works, doesn't it? I love you, son, but you were too young. You didn't tell me where to put this tabernacle. I love you, Zakim Birmin, but you didn't tell me where to build the dining hall. I love you, Ima. You did tell me one thing. You challenged me. Can I tell you, Zakim? You know the story. That well there. That one. My intent was to build the tabernacle up front. I didn't want people coming down beyond us. And she reminded me, she said, yeah, put it in your heart because you got out there and you walked. And you say, this is where the well should go. That's before we got the building and the church. They're simply here. And I wanted to slap her upside her head with words. Be quiet. She said, you said it. And I'm glad I listened. I am. That's a powerful well. When the man drilled that, he said, don't drill another one. You don't need another. You got too much water. Drill us another one. I intend to put one down there by him. By you. Why? Yeah, we saved and saved and saved till we got enough to drill a well. $2,000 cents back then, $2,500. That was a lot of money. And I manage it all right, son. I manage every penny right. And I've done right by it. I've done honorable by it and honest by every dime. I said to my Zachin, yes, I want to, when I go, I want everything to be in order because I know I'm going to die. And you can be silly to think you're not going to die. You're going to die. Let me move on, all right? I want to get back to there's something here. Hallelujah. And they spread, yes, Gail. They took all the gold beside the gold. In verse 27, and Gideon made an ephod thereof and put it in his city. Even in Oprah and all YisraYah'ale went there. Look what they do. They went there what? Whoring, Zana, proving himself unfaithful to Yah. He put it there to show them the greatness of Yah's power after it, which became a snare to Gideon and to his house. His house came down. You don't need nothing. All we need is in YHWH HaMashiach. You don't need anything at all. What has brought this about? I said we're going to go back to we're going to go back to Shemoth, but I want you to hold on to that first. Just go to Shemoth 32 verse 1. And that's not what I want to read. I want to read something as what has been the influence of us and what has caused us and what has been the captivity of Yah's people. And while we know this is not of Yah, you got that. I want you to turn to Tehillim first. Psalms 106 and verse 34. Psalm 106 verse 34. This is how we have learned, who we have learned of. We have not learned from Yah. This is how. This is what Dawid said. These are the words of Yah. Yah said they did not shamash. They did not annihilate, destroy, bring it down to dust. They did not destroy the nations. We got that nation. I said to one day, it's amazing that you defend a country. People defend the country where they're from. When one comes from the islands of the Sea of Africa, they always defend it to say that, well, you know my country's great. You're a damn liar. Your country is poor, poverty, it's dirty, it stinks. Robbers just like this nasty house. And if your country was so great, why would not you go back to that country, jackass? And it's just a fun. America's a dirty, filthy, wicked whore. That you wallow in the swirl of a whore and you dress yourself that way. You want to defend the country, the jackasses. But man, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from the... It's dirty and stinking. Oh no, we have rich people there. I know that's why you're poor. And that's why the streets are full of poverty. You know, of all the nations in the world, I can say is one thing. I don't care what you say. These little jackasses on the street would say Dr. King, Martin Luther King sold the people out. Well, he was a hoish man and all of that. For the moment in time, he did one thing to this nation. I don't care, all the rednecks in town. He made this wicked nation realize that you have no conscience of care. And what you do to this little people that have no resources, you have robbed them of everything they have. Even though they were evil in the South, North, Midwest, there was somewhat of a conscience that that's why they killed the man. That's why y'all say move him out. You tell me y'all is not use a wicked man like that?
Yes.
Use kings to bless YisraYah'ale and feed them. He used a wicked dog like Esau to say to Yaakov, now we don't want it. So what you want to? The people among you in this nation, them alone, let it be 40 million or less. There's no nation on the face of the earth that possesses the wealth of our view like this nation. 45 million people. Over $1 trillion and wealth, 1 trillion, not 1 billion, not 5 billion. The wealth of that people is the wealth of all the islands of the sea. That's a damn fact. How do you know? Well, I'm a student. You talk without knowledge, I talk with substance. We're just stupid. Like this people here. We're dumb. And we don't give a damn. There's no people. You can take Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, Barbados, Bermuda. You can take all of them together. And they don't have the wealth of the people of this country. All of them. Period. We're just stupid. And then the people of the wealth of those countries, they have learned to be selfish. And they don't give a damn about each other. Because everybody wants every dollar. And so they don't care about another Barbadian or Jamaican. They don't. Period. They have learned the way. And they have been seduced. Put that message on after this. The white's mind. It transcends every ethnicity and the color of people. The white mind transcends every people. It's a mind that is arrogant, it's humorous. It's a mind that is full of pride. Play that for me, you all. I call it the white mind. And I know it's the truth because a white boy from Indiana, where the Ku Klux Klans, one of the porters began there, he called me one day and I answered the telephone with the phone. And he said, preacher, you're laughing. I listened to that message. He said, I'll tell you something, preacher. Come on now, I don't even know I'm listening to you, but you're right. He said, I'm sending you an offering. White boy sent me, he didn't lie. He sent me $100 check and we needed it. And it didn't bounce. You didn't send it back? Well, no, I didn't. He's never contacted me again. He said, that truth you taught, it is the truth. And so they receive that white mind in every poor country because the image of wealth and beauty is that the women bleach their skin, and women that are blacker than me try to bleach their skin to become white. You move into what they call the enclaves of those that with that white mind hell, they're moving out. You're not up to their standards. And so it creates a segregation and separation. You say what you want to, you Hebrews on the corner. Hadn't been for men like Mr. King that reinforce what we call that damnable constitution. You couldn't be there doing that. That's a fact. You gonna diss a man like that? I won't diss the man. I won't diss him like that. I won't speak that evil against him. He told this nation, you have no conscience. You don't even give a damn about our people you have robbed, you have raped, you have reduced, you have seduced, You have marginalized us. We're not begging for your money. He was not a beggar. There was nothing more profound than in Montgomery, Alabama, when they say, no, we won't ride your buses. And they cared for each other. They picked each other up and they walked to work. This is how stupid this generation is. We're going to let our babies read a lot of that this year. I just haven't gotten the books because we got the money, but I have to make sure that the funds are right, all right? And she told me some of the books I want to get. And I got them in a cart. I'm going to buy them. I will not marginalize those men. I will not marginalize those that lay their lives down. Just to say, let me stand beside him and let's see who works better. When your riches of this nation came on the backs of those that had no power of direction, of my great-great-great-great-grandmammy and my pappy. And you came and you robbed the Indians and you stole and you put those people on reservation that their mental sense of direction is lost. I don't want to be like that. I'm not going to do someone like that. I'd rather live among the poor people. We can build a house together. That's right. Full of pride, go to hell. I don't repent of that. Yeah, I will stand in his judgment. You say things that are worse than that. Hallelujah. It says in Tehillim 106:34, they did not destroy the nation concerning whom Yah commanded them. And Yah says, since you didn't destroy them, look what he did. Verse 35. But were mingled, he used the words araba. Arab, mingled. That means you pledge to the ways. That's what the word arab means. That means you just come in the midst of them. You exchange, you mortgage yourself. You want to do what they did. He said, you mingle among the heathens and learn, Lomad, their works. You see what we have done? You see what the nose ring, the earrings, and the collar rings? And what time they wearing collars around their neck? That's what we have done. That's what we have done. Azazel, just like Shatan said to Yeshua, I got a seed because I have the power to give it and make rich whom I want to. And you know it. Get out of my face, boy. He said, if you bow down and worship me. Yeah, he wanted him to worship. Not Shechad. He said, I give you all these kingdoms. Look at the whoredom. Look, they so silly. They don't want you. And they don't want that what you're talking about because you put them in bondage. No, it's what they're doing, put you in bondage. Yah calls them to learn from the heathens. He says their ma'aseth, their pursuits, their work. And they serve their idols. Have everything I've learned about YisraYah'ale, and they were serving the idols. They came by Yaakov here, put all the strange gods and all the gods and all the earrings and all on the tree. Why you going back to get that? Those southern country folks, they will always find them an oak tree or something and go dig down in there. And they don't want you to know that the earth had been disturbed. And that's where they will hide the money. In case somebody come in, they get them an old tin box and they will hide the money in the earth. Why? To go back and get it? Which were a snare. It was a machesh. And a machesh is a bait. It's what lures us. Oh, she looks attractive. She got on a booger ring in her nose. She got earrings in her ear. She got the booger hook in her nose. And he got a booger ring in his nose. It's strange how we are when someone is just, and God just brutally honest with us. It's strange. We don't know what honesty is. And you think you're an honest person. Stop it. I want to close here from better sheets. Listen, I am worn out. And from Exodus, I mean. We have been reminded that Yah has brought us out of Mitzrayim. But we kept all of Mitzrayim in us, of Egypt. Can I ask us a question in this closing? It's in Shemot, Exodus 32:1. And when the people So Moshe delayed to come down from the mount. You see, that's what they say today, of course, in their quote, Jesus talk, unquote. Well, from the beginning, they were talking about the Lord Jesus is coming again, unquote. So they get weary, and they become weary of that. So they said, Moshe been up there too long. And so they began to become antsy with each other. That's how we do, don't we? We do the same thing. It says the people, they went and gathered themselves unto Haran and said to him, up, make us gods. It did not say God, did it? It said gods. And I don't know where we get this, that there was only one God among them, just the golden calf. They said, up, make us what? Gods. Make us gods. Yah says, get all the strange gods out of your home, didn't they?
Yes.
And there were so many that he came to a tree in Shishim, and not realizing that that tree was YHWH, that would take away all those sins. You see, they hid them there when they came back to get there. Which shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us out of the land of Israel, you see this beast. You see this beastly spirit? This man Moshe that brought us out of the land of Israel, we know not what has become of him. In essence, I don't know what happened to Dawid. He just, all he do is cuss. No, I will curse. I will arise your sin and your corruption of year. It's not me saying damn. And this damnable people. It's not that. There are those that come and visit, and I'll think, well, what happened? They were so excited. You see, this teaching that comes from here is going to cut. It's going to cut. And that's why you can't be comfortable around me. And I would tell people, don't come here with your bullshit. Don't come here with that. Don't come here thinking that we're going to sit down and talk, quote, Bible, unquote. What's his name there in the little story? Tell me his name. Tommy. And Tommy, don't come talk to me with that Bible talk. He talking, what do you say? How does he say that? Talking that Bible at me. He said, that's mockery. So don't come here with the Bible talk. You want to come to work. And people get excited just like they were with YHWH. The word enters in, and they become so excited. And then when they think it, they begin the process, they become very disencouraged. I want this kind of teaching from me. I want to be saved. I want this kind of teaching. And I know I'm not going to make it with my methodology. And my concocting of what it says, what I'm reading to you is right here. I'm not adding that many words on me, comment on it. Let me close out from here, right? He said, from the land of Mizraim, and we don't know what happened to Moshe. And Haran said to him, I want you to parak. I want you to break. He did not say tear off. I want you to, he did not say take it off. I want you to baracha. I want you to paracha. I want you to tear it off, break it off. I don't care if it comes in pieces. He said break off the golds and that's it. What land were they coming out of? 125 years, you would think that they had learned all the evil ways, mingled with the heathens. They had learned the trash of Egypt. Earrings, boogering nose rings, collars. They were coming out of Mizraim, as you remind us. We have learned the ways of Mizraim, and we still got that trash in us. They were coming out of that which were in the ears of your wives, your sons,
Yes.
and your daughters.
Yes.
He said, bring it all to me. They didn't ask for a God. They all wanted their gods that they could fashion. And that's the way we is. We want to fashion our own gods that accommodate you. It that's going to work that way with Yah. He says, and all the people bring off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and they brought them to Haran. And he received them. And he received them at their hands. And he fashioned with it a charat, a graven tool. After he had made a molten calf, and they said, do they say this is our God?
Yes.
Huh? No, that's not what he said. What it says there. What it says there. Say it again. T-H-E or T-H-I-S. S-E.
Yes.
T-H-E-S-E would mean that there are multiples or others, right?
Yes.
T-H-I-S mean that there's a specific of a numeric and a singular, wouldn't it not be?
Yes.
This is my house, man. These are my houses. This is my land, man. These are my buildings. You see how we don't know how to read? You just found that out. I've been knowing this ever since. I've always read like this. He said, they said to him, these be our gods. Nobody, unless you got a fancy pair of earrings, take them off and let somebody wear them. And you don't let nobody wear your real stuff. Girl, wait, get some earrings out of my jewelry box. That's trash box. That's no jewelry. It's a trash box. These be your gods, O YisraYah'ale, which brought you out of the land of Mizraim. They were coming out of where Mizraim?
Yes.
Yes.
So you tell me that those of Mizraim did not wear earrings? And that violent sheep with their booger rings, nose rings and all? You mingled them among the heathens, that we have learned the way of the heathen. We are clean people. We don't need nothing to enhance us. We are people of your faith. We are beautiful people. You don't need no pook on your eyes. You don't need to paint up your eyes. Put a booger ring in your nose. Earrings in your ears. You don't need no tattoo on your face or nothing. You don't need nothing like that. Your blackness is beautiful. The color of your skin is beautiful. Your mind is beautiful. I don't give a damn if you got a third grade education. That's more than any of that. You think it is beautiful because we are the mind of YHWH. They came out of a country. You tell me that they were poor. You tell me that 70 went in there. We are some damn fools. They didn't have bread to eat. They were starving. They giving up everything they had. And yet they had sold their brothers. I'm getting back to exile. All right, we're going to see who sold who. And they didn't even know that their brother was in the house of Pharaoh. And he cried. He said, I love them, y'all. And they came and sold the wooing and all of that. Mom, look at those earrings, not earrings. My aunt was saying them earrings. And they wanted to look like them. Because they wanted to be like them. And that's the way we is. Old woman died, no damn baby. I'm gonna put mama, let me bless you up a little bit. She got enough damn wrinkles that the ocean doesn't carry that many. And bless you up. Put a little pook on her. Put a little mascara on her eyes. And dress her with some earrings. And old crazy mama get up. She can barely walk. Put her on YouTube. And she looks like a silly old fool. It would be more beautiful to have your mother on her knees praying. And say, what a wretched thing I am, young. Those silly man, Grandpapa, you used to wear earrings. Let's see. Now, we don't get that in there. Go to hell. You all understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
They sold that and it mesmerized them. They saw the earrings, the golds, as they would say, they didn't call them bangles. They were called them bingles. They saw the bangles and the omelets on the women and all of the pukas, puke, painted up. and the gods and the symbols of their gods and all of that. And they say, this is all right. And y'all have brought them out of deep poverty during a drought.
Yes.
And they went there and they learned that, and they said, we're going to work hard and make extra. I want to buy me some more of them earrings. Not earrings, earrings. That's what they did. And even y'all said, take all the gold of the Egyptians and all. And they went and they borrowed and they took. Oh, they took. And they built gods. They didn't build a god. I'm going to teach you on the calf and what it symbolizes. You understand? There ain't nothing that I don't research. Ain't nothing. I have done more studying than 99% of the preachers that were preached today, just this morning, had nothing to do with this. Compiling messages, compiling that for the feast days, my heart is excited about the more again.
Hallelujah.
You don't have to, I have.
Hallelujah.
Out of Mizraim, at verse 5, and when Aharon saw that, he built an altar before it. And Aharon made a proclamation saying, tomorrow is the feast of, not the feast of, it's the feast of your God. That's why he hates our feast days.
Yes.
He hates your Christmas.
Yes.
He hates your Mother's Day and Father's Day and Valentine's Day. He hates your Easter. He hates that. Can I say to you all, I know some of you all may be first time listening to me, to do something that violent. Don't even show any reverence for any of those holidays. Not for the 4th of July. There's no one in hell that you should even grill anything on the 4th.
Yes.
No one in hell. I don't care.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You don't understand that? Read the proclamation that Frederick Douglass wrote in New York when he spoke on the 4th of July to all the British and the royalty. Read that, you can find it. You will never celebrate that. You will never eat a damn chicken leg on the 4th of July. You will never grill anything that is associated. You will never even touch to be a part of anything like that. This is how dumb we is. We're dumb people. And we don't want nobody to teach us because we think we know everything.
True.
I don't know nothing. It's one thing in my life I've always been teaching what teaching can show me. That's why I've learned so much. I don't try to teach him things that I know. He can handle with an expertism that I cannot. But I will teach him things that I can handle. I can work a garden well. And nobody here, nobody has said boldly, has said, not braggadocio, but I said with boldness, with accuracy, with tenaciousness, of tenacity, and I said without repentance. Let a man here, and that I've lived here, can weed a garden like me. There ain't one of you. There ain't a one of you. There's not a one of you can weed a garden like me. Not one of you. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yes, yes.
Not one. That's a fact. That's a fact. Not one of you can weed a garden. Not one of you listen. Can weed a garden like me. And what I think is just right. There's not a one of you can weed a garden like me. Not one of you. Not even your tribe there. And I don't take it back.
Yes, you do.
I do that extremely well. There's nothing else I do well. You don't even stand a chance. And there's not one of you, I know you all can pick and harvest. There's not one of you can move like me. Not even to the youngest. That's a fact. Let me tell you this little story. I'll read the last verse. That year we did over there in Council, we did about, I don't know how many rows of okra we did. We didn't have no machines and nothing. We had a crew. He's going to beat me down every time. My friend, I don't know how to stretch this body out and move it from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're moving. I got 10 or 12 holes done. And by the time you get to your 6th hole, I'm down there. And you know what's going to happen? He's going to look at me. And he goes, so he's ahead of me. And that's what he's going to tell me. He's ahead of me. He's not going to think about how many seeds. And I walk. I get so far ahead, I wait on him. And I get that with me. And he was no slow man. He wasn't. He was a master. But I'm going to get you. I let those that catch up with me and get on past them. Encourage them. Come on. Let's do the seeds. Look like you're beating me. They catch up, move past me. You got me. I was in the gym the other day. One said I did 25. I said, wow. I did 24. I could have done 424, 524. I did 24. All right? Listen to this in verse 5. And Haran said, let's build an altar. This is the feast of Yah. And they rose up early on the morning and offered burnt offerings and brought shalom offerings. And the people, now this is Yah, isn't it? That's why I tell you all the time, Akim, let me say this. I want y'all to you daughters, you don't play. You don't play. It says, and they made burnt offering, and they brought shalom offering. There's a semicolon, that's a statement that is so profound. And the people sat down, they ate, and they drank, and they rose up to sochach. They rose up to play, to laugh, and act like a jackass and clown to sport, to play, to make sport. You don't do that. You don't leave the dining hall after and you want to play and laugh and act like a clown. And they rose up to play. And it was full of laughter. That's what it says, doesn't it? And they rose up to shochach. They rose up to play and grin and tell jokes and tell something that's funny. You don't do that. You don't do that. Mockery, that's what the word implies. That's what shochach is. They rose up to play and laugh. Our days of this little joke. I'm real. You don't do that. Now Baruch. May His blessing rest upon the nation. I'm looking forward to the Moads. We're going to have service this XIII event. We won't have it next XIII event because of trumpets. We began start that evening, and I want to say, whether we're out there or not, we got that new system, my friend. I want us to be outside. I want to get some shofar for the babies. And we just dress in some colorful and comfortable. And we're going to look for the moon, and we're going to sing, and we're going to dance. And we're going to have a great time. And then we're going to have service on the 11th at noon. I want to teach on that day, and Zakeh will take appointment. And then all the Achim during the pass of the tabernacle. And I want to do that. I don't want to come inside. And then we'll come inside on the next day for the feast. And I want you all have some sweeties for the little ones. You got to find some shofar. They don't have no more. I will get some this week. I'll get some. I'll look after the Shabbat and I'll get them shipped in one day, so they can have something to blow, and I want them to film home. It is the moonlight. She won the last time. She won through a system of favoritism. Look over that way and tell me what you see, Beefy. Boofy. And she runs because she knew it was a 50 spot on the mark. They were out there the night before and they were looking. I was looking out everywhere. And all of a sudden, the moon is out. I didn't ask her to identify exactly if she found the moon. I said, okay, you found it. You're the first one to come to me. All right? And so the same thing goes on next week. So we better start looking
Yeah.
for the children. Not your adults, all right? So I'm looking for a great time. The Shabbats are a time of meat. You know I love you. I've traveled so far. We're coming together for those days. This is a time to eat meat. That's what the Shabbats are for. For you to feed us with meat. He put it down. Shall had desire to feed you with meat, didn't he? That's what the Shabbats are for. Therefore, to come to eat the meat, people. So we come to eat the greatness of his bread, the lecture. And we got to find the moon. And we sing that song. Moon, moonlight. The moon, moon, moonlight. Yeah, 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 yeah. The moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. We're looking for the moon. Moon, 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 moonlight. The children get excited.
Yeah.
They get excited. That's what I love about that. So we're going to start service. I'm going to get everything done today. I promise my friend here, so they can go down and check on that place down there. They take the wives and go down there and make sure everything is well. Because we're going to have a fellowship there one day. Zakkaim will go, and we're going to have a great time there. We're going to have a fish fry. I said to my Israel, I had said, well, that last brisket, was it too bad or what? Well, Miss Rona. Oh, okay. I'll sample it. I always tell her, you don't sample it. It's got to be right. Yeah, I do. If you don't get nobody anything, give. I don't care if you go and think of this. Let her sample it. Let you know. She'll let you know. So always give her a sample. So Big Daddy gets in on that. So I said to her, I want to get some of those nice Angus beef ribs. That'll be about 3 spots for that. And 4 briskets. It's just too hot to put in cow. We're going to wait, and we're going to do one November, December, and we're going to have us a great time. And just build us a fire out there in the deck. And we're going to just let that cow go all day. Just build the fire, just let the heat from the fire. That's what we're going to do. Isn't that beautiful? I like doing stuff like that. I do. In the cities they have fish fries, all right? That's all I can do. Everybody out with the bottle, everybody says, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have a great time and looking forward to the feast days, tabernacle. So I said, I'm going to just cook some beef. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do some beef, ribs, and thickness. Now, Zakkaim, cut them in half for me. And 4 briskets. I've got spices of every kind coming in. I do. I've got some of that habanero too, man. I got me some minced coconut and all of that because I got this thought of how I want to do that. I got me some of that sure enough mango powder. I don't want to overtake that. You understand? I want to be right with some of the jalapeno there. No sodium to it. No salt. It costs a little more for that kind of those spices than the one with salt. So I got some recipes I've been thinking in my mind I want to cook. And some of the amenities that go with that, especially for the mango and even some pineapple. We'll find if the miss. And so I want to have to get everything done today. In the rough fair, they will plan the meal. But I want to do that one day. And then I want to have a big fish fry. Then we go down for a day to take the children, make sure we, when they can do fish. And just have a great time. That's what I want to do. I'll stay here and watch the place. Everybody go. And we all go and fellowship with each other. It's amazing because people will take off from their jobs for what they call a damn family reunion. And it's nothing but drunkenness. They get drunk.
Yes.
Her cousin is looking at her because of the way she dressed. And he wants to hit on her own cousin. And they do love each other. You know they do. You can sit and say, what you want to? Her own cousin, she's dressed so scantily like a cheap hole that, come on. The old man, the one not even looking at his wife and compliment her, but he's looking at her. I will never be a part of that. You can. I will never. I've been a part of it one time. And as the old folks would say, quote, I promised my God. And that was myself. I said it that way, unquote. I would never, in all the days of my life, be a part of it. And I never have. It was arrogant, pride, you're all broken, stink like me. I will never, and I have never been a part of it. This is not my family. This is my family. They that hear the Torah of Yah, and those that perform the will of Yah. I will not be a part of it. And I don't go to there, and I didn't go to, and I never will, and I never did. One time. And I knew it was such a taste. That was the last time I got pulled over by a cop and got a ticket. Cost me 17 dollars. I know this guy, my family.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure. We're going to get the cow up, all right? We're not going to do a big one. We're going to do one a nice size. We can put half of it up there. And give a man back there, my friend, to wear me 2 racks together. We can put that cow in there. And we can flip it the way we want to. And just sit out there all day and cut a little piece off. And that'd be nice, man. Trim some off and just make some. So what are those things with the little bar? What are the things you call it? Shabbatis. Got all kinds of condiments. You go in there and we just stop the thing. You slice you some up from the hip, from the breast, and just put that in your big pan and just eat. That's wonderful to me. That's living to me. That's life. That's life. Life always revolves around food, doesn't it? That's life. Let us stand up. Bless you all. In all things we do for the excellence of YHWH HaMashiach.
Yes.
Bless you as we pray for the need of your nation. Zachin Tamasya and all of those. Achnika, Achiakov, and all of those that are faithful in the works of your servant and the people of Yah here. Bless them. Heal us all. We need healing. Above all men, I am in desperate need. Violently sinful, corrupt. That's me. I'm so glad you have caused the hearts of the Achim and the rising of that truth beyond the depth of their ability to understand, to rise from them and to teach me and to show me. Bless them, bless the daughters of Zion in a great way. Cause their SHABBAT to spread abroad unto each of them and those that are strangers as well. Bless your nation scattered abroad. Bless the people of YisraYah'ale. Bless your sons and daughters, our children, your healing. Touch us in our bodies and our minds. Restore unto us that which we have allowed the canker of the virus of our own sin to eat away. Restore us again. Forgive us all, each individually and as a people. Forgive us of our sins and all the deeds and actions that we have wrought in our minds and perform to sin against you. We have been evil, Yahweh. We know that you, for the blood of YHWH HaMashiach. We bless you for that precious blood. Is so precious and so magnificent unto the nations. So give us all, guide us, and teach us your way more profoundly and more perfect. We ask all of these blessings in YHWH's mighty name. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
truth shall make you free. For out of Zion comes your deliverer in the year of Jubilee. Awake, O Israel, put up your trumpet, and the truth shall make you free. For out of Zion comes your deliverer in the year of Jubilee. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, Shabbat Yahweh. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, Shabbat Yahweh. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, Shabbat Yahweh. Oh, hallelujah, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, let us dance to Yah. Oh, let us dance to Yah. Dance to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Oh, let us dance to Yah. Oh, let us dance to Yah. Dance to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Let us shout. Let us shout to Yah. Oh, let us shout to Yah. Shout to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Oh, let us shout to Yah. Oh, let us shout to Yah. Shout to Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Awake, O Israel, put off your slumbers, and the truth shall make you free. For out of Zion comes your deliverer in the year of Jubilee.
Yeah.